Yo guys, what is up? Welcome to a brand new Pokemon Pokopia video. Today we're going to be going over the top 10 tips that I think are the most important for new players in Pokemon Pokopia. With that being said, guys, I do want to make it clear if there are any kind of tips that you see in today's video and you didn't know about it before, be sure to leave a comment down below. Let me know if I was helpful today. But let's go ahead and get into today's video. Alright guys, for this next tip, I'm going to show you guys exactly how to move one Pokemon from one map to the other. And all you got to do is go over and talk to the Pokemon you want to move. In this instance, I want to move Ivysaur. I've already got Bulbasaur in town. I kind of don't like having the same evolution in the same town. I feel like I could use him elsewhere to grow more plants. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to ask this Pokemon to follow us. And once we have the Pokemon following us here, we do have our Ivysaur following us. What we're going to do is we're actually going to make our way over to one of the gates to the next biome. For this instance, I'm going to be going to Rocky Ridges. If you guys have played through the story, you'll know where that is and the gate to get there. It's just through this cave here on the west side of town. Alright, any day now, Ivysaur. Any day, my dude. But once your Pokemon does get here, you have to make sure that your Pokemon has no other business in the area or else they won't be able to move. But once they are able to move, you can go ahead and take them through here. You'll know it worked once Ivysaur comes through with you. All right, it worked. So you can see we have Ivysaur in the Rocky Ridges now. He is still following us, so I guess we can go ahead and find our buddy a new home. All right, we have this nice little flower bed here. I think Ivysaur would appreciate that, so we can go ahead and talk to Ivysaur really quick. Say, do you want to move in here? Where should I move? And you can actually select if there's multiple ones. I didn't know that. New tip added to the video. All right, but we're going to go ahead and add him here. For real, seriously, my new home? Yep, sure is. Okay. All right, so now Ivysaur is officially moved from our beginning map to this new one here in the Rocky Ridges. And that is how you move Pokemon from one biome to another. Alright guys, this next tip is actually huge and has helped me out a lot in this game. Now, this is something that I found out recently. But if you go to the Pokedex really quick and we check out Pidgeotto, and you'll notice in the specialty section here, it says fly. And this is a huge thing. There's a couple Pokemon that can use this fly. I think like Charizard can fly, Noctowl, Pidgeotto. Those are the Pokemon that you would typically use to fly. And what you can do with that ability is you can actually use it to find Pokemon in your village that you need to talk to, but you can't find them. For example, the other day, I couldn't find Ivysaur in my village anywhere. He was just exploring, and I didn't know where he was. But if you go to Ivysaur here, and then you press the plus button, it says, would you like to search for Ivysaur? You go ahead, select yes, and then we can task a nearby Pokemon. We can go over to a Pokemon that knows fly, like Pidgeotto, and says, huh, you looking for someone, Ditto? I sure am. Oh yeah, I know where Ivysaur is at. I want to visit him, and then you say yes, and then you can go ahead and you can use Pidgeotto to fly. Look at this animation. It is super cool. I thought he was going to pick me up by the head and just take me away. But you can use this to find any Pokemon in any of your maps where you don't know where they are. And just like that right there, we are right next to Ivysaur, which was right where we were standing. But I was using that for an example. But you can use it to find any Pokemon in your village, which comes in really handy at times, especially if you have a huge village and you cannot find where anybody is. Alright guys, this next one is going to be moving flowers using the Rotiller ability. Once you have befriended Drillbur, he teaches you how to do this. And normally this is how you plant vegetables and stuff. But did you know that you could also use it to pick up flowers? Check this out. You can pick them up and you can move them around. That makes it a lot easier to decorate and customize your area. This is one of the tips that I've been using the longest for sure. But maybe you did know about picking up the flowers. But there's one other tip I want to show you that involves this trick, and it's that you can actually use it to pick up these weeds as well. So you can legit move weeds wherever you want to. I don't know if this is useful or not, because you can just plant weeds whenever you want, but this is a cool tip that I haven't really seen anywhere else. Alright guys, this next tip is a little bit controversial, and maybe you already know what I'm talking about if you've played Animal Crossing before or any other game like this, but in this game, you can check here, and it says that this will be done tomorrow. That's a long time to wait, right? But maybe you don't want to wait, and some people consider this cheating, but if that's not you, then feel free to go ahead and do this. Games are for anyone to play how they want to play them. But you can actually get these houses completed even faster. And all you got to do is save your game. Hit yes. Because this game runs off of your internal switch clock. And all you got to do is once you save your game and quit, you head back out to the main menu. You're going to go all the way to the bottom right down here where it says System Settings. Once you get there, you're going to scroll down until you see System. And once you get to System, you're going to scroll down again until you see Date and Time. Unclick to synchronize the clock, and then the current date and time, you can go ahead and push that up 1 day. After you do that, hit OK. You're going to go back to the main screen here. You're going to load Pokopia back up, and you are going to go and load up your island. All right, we are awake in the game now. Let's head out here and see if our new cottage is completed. Oh, I see everyone standing over there. It is done. And just like that, guys, you can do that to skip basically any time-based event in this game. Whether that is creating fruits, creating vegetables, building houses, anything that actually takes time, poof. You can just straight up skip that. But like I said before, this is a little controversial. People might say that it's cheating, but I believe that if you're having fun playing the game, then you just do whatever you want to do. With that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the next tip. Alright guys, for this next tip, you are going to need to have the Pokemon Center completed. Once you have the Pokemon Center completed, let's head on inside here. And you're going to notice in my game that one of my Pokemon has actually manned the desk, and there's some stuff back here that is actually for sale. You'll see a few things here. If we go over to one of these and select that we are interested in this, you will see that there is a little scale that pops up here. And what we need to do is we need to make this scale even or more just to do that. This is also a really good way to get rid of items that you don't want. If I look at my inventory, I can see that I have 93 barren soil. I'm never going to use this for anything in the game, so I can go ahead and I can start stacking this up. And eventually, if I get enough of this soil over here, we get a decent trade. And this is a good way to get rid of your items at the same time as getting some really cool furniture for your house. Alright, once you've given enough items, you can go ahead and click trade, and then boom. There you go. You've got yourself a little thing here. Now, you have to have a Pokemon that has the trade ability to be able to run this shop. And if you've done the tutorial, you know that Hitmonchan has trade ability, so you should most likely have Hitmonchan. Okay, we can actually get some rare Pokemetal here too. That's actually pretty rare. Alright, it says we need 2,000 to get the Pokemetal. How much is this entire stack worth? An entire stack of dirt is 700, but I have multiple stacks of dirt. I have so many stacks of dirt, my guys. Alright, all of that dirt for one rare Pokemetal ingot. But there you go, guys. That's how you can trade in all of your junk items. Alright, for this next tip, I'm going to show you guys like a faster teleportation method when returning home in different parts of the map here. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go over to the utility section, and you're going to want to create a Ditto flag. And once you have that completed, you're going to want to be able to put it on a house. And normally, if you played the game and you did the little tutorial thing, you can see that my house is down there below the hill. There's a little bush with a Ditto flag on it. But before you can claim another house, make sure you go to your previous house and take the flag off of it. Now you can take your original flag or your new flag and you can put it next to a house like this, and this claims the house for yourself. Now, how is this different than teleporting to a regular house? Well, when you teleport to a regular house, it teleports you to the inside of that house. Watch what happens if I return home on this house. It does the black and white screen, but then it instantly opens back up right outside, significantly faster, and you don't got to go through another loading screen when you go in and out of a house. So that's definitely a tip worth looking into if you want to make your own home instead of using one of the prefabs. I definitely prefer building my own home. I think it's more fun, and I do prefer the teleport ability to be able to teleport straight to it outside. You could also use this to teleport to certain areas of interest in the game. So I hope this was helpful for you guys. Alright guys, so for this first tip, I want to show you guys about the crafting bench. So we go ahead and we can place one here. Go ahead, open that up, and then you've probably seen this before. But you can place a chest next to a crafting bench, and you can actually pull the resources out of that crafting bench. We can also place them behind this. So instead of just placing one chest, you can place multiple. Looks like you can put a total of 4 chests around this. potentially even 4 large chests, so you can have a lot of things in this crafting bench. Okay, everybody, we are back in Rocky Ridges again, and this next tip and trick is going to be on this minecart. It is pretty important that you guys, I cannot stress enough, this is a huge tip. You guys should definitely complete this minecart system if you can. I don't have it 100% completed, but I have it completed enough, and I'll show you why. Look how much faster you can actually get around the game by using this thing. Let's say you're down here and you need to get mining and you want to get some ores and stuff. The fastest way to get around in this game is going to be using this minecart down here. And as you can see, we can stop right here. We can actually use this as the fastest method to get over to the museum area. So you guys can go ahead and trade in your feathers that we mentioned in the last tip. But yes, I can't stress this enough how important it is to go ahead and have this minecart completed. Look how quickly you can zoom around the mines and get all the ores you need to craft whatever you need to craft. Oh my gosh, there is Lugia. That's crazy. All right, so guys, sometimes Lugia and Ho-Oh spawn in this game, and they drop feathers, which you will see right here in a minute. Oh, there it goes. There's the feather. It's going down. We got to go get to it real quick. All right, you can always kind of tell where it is because it kind of gives up a little thing of smoke here. And we do have a feather here. For Ho-Oh feathers, you have to use water on them. For these, you have to use the scyther blades. You cut them, and then you can pick them up. All right, and you can see in my inventory here that there are 2 different types of feathers. We have the rainbow feather from Ho-Oh and the silver feather from Lugia. And now I'm going to show you guys what to do with rainbow feathers. This is a tip that I didn't know about, and I was trying to figure out what to do with these things. And if you don't really search for it, you really wouldn't find it unless you figured it out on like Twitter or social media or some video. But what you want to do is, starting from the middle of the village, just right in front of my character here, you're going to want to go down this path through this area over here. And you'll need to have progressed a little bit into the story. This is right next to the cycling road area and this little cave. This is where you find Onyx in the story mode. While exploring this cave, you do find this weird door. And what this actually does is it takes you to a whole nother map, a whole nother location in the game. All right, this map here is called Rocky Ridges. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to head down here and you're going to pass this Pokemon Center. I just finished building the Pokemon Center, but you guys can see that's where the Pokemon Center is normally. You're going to want to go right past the Pokemon Center and you're going to want to go into the mine shaft up here. Continue to follow your way down to the mine shaft area until you see the place with lava. All right, here we are. We are nearing up in the lava area, and you really will miss it if you're just playing normally. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna go on this side over here, and we're just gonna stick to the ledge here. We're gonna make sure we don't fall into the lava because, you know, that would hurt. I built a little bit of a bridge here, but as I come up to the area, you're gonna look up and you're gonna see this huge building here, and it's super easy to miss, like I said. But let's just jump down here, and we're gonna go inside of that building. And what this building is, it seems like it's some sort of like old museum. So once you go inside here, you will find a little unique Pokemon called Gimmighoul. And you're going to go ahead and you're going to talk to Gimmighoul. Yo, that's it. That's a rainbow feather. So you really were able to find some, huh? Whoa, so sparkly. And what texture. This is better than I ever imagined. I knew I could trust you, Ditto. Hey, next time you find some treasure, bring it to me, yo. I'll trade you for something neat in my collection. Okay, so he takes both feathers, and then they're feathers of a different Pokemon, and I'm collecting lost relics. But I'm only interested in lost relics if they've been appraised. So he only wants appraised things. Get them appraised by super smart Pokemon. So I guess you can also use this to take appraised items and then bring them to Gimmighoul. It looks like he's building a museum here. That's pretty cool. All right, Gimmighoul. Let's see what we can get for these feathers. All right, we can trade 1 feather for something cool of mine. Yes. How about a gaming light? So it looks like it gives you a random item for the feathers. All right, and let's see if we get the same thing if we give him our Lugia feathers. Yes, please. What can you give us for a Lugia table? We get a luxury table for 1 Lugia feather. Okay, that's pretty cool. Nice, a luxury table. But that, guys, is what you're supposed to do when you get feathers from Lugia or Ho-Oh. Okay, guys, for this tip here, let's say you want some furniture and you bought everything in the store, you crafted everything, you're looking for something new. Well, every single day, you can actually talk to Vespiqueen, and you can get some pretty unique furniture from this Pokemon. All you have to have is a little bit of honey. So, if you go down here, once you've discovered Vespiqueen, you get this option unlocked, and it says, I brought some honey. Go ahead, select that, and just for 3 honey, you can select any one of these pieces of furniture here, And I'm going to go ahead and select the antique chair. You could actually get every single piece of this furniture every single day. You can't just have to, you don't just have to pick one. You can pick every single one of them. You just have to have enough honey to be able to buy all this stuff. And like that right there, I'm going to go ahead and buy the large square rug. And we are getting a bunch of furniture and cool things to decorate our Pokemon's house with. And hopefully this is a cool tip that you guys might have not known about, and I'm able to bring some new insight for your guys' stuff here. Okay guys, that is going to be it for today's video. Hopefully one of these tips and tricks was able to get you something new in the game that you didn't know about before. And if one of these was something that you didn't know, be sure to leave a comment down below letting me know if this video was enjoyable or if it was informative or not. So go ahead, leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.